Hey everybody, it's Friday, December 8th, 7:20 p.m. Mountain Time, 2017. What you're looking at is Crazy Horse Monument in southwestern South Dakota. This photograph here and this one right here were taken by a man named Jonathan back on August the 8th. He sent these pictures to me early this week, and he noticed something in both of these pictures. These are two separate pictures he took just seconds apart. And he sent them to me wanting to know what, if anything, he thought maybe this object was in the sky in this photograph. He didn't see it when he took the picture, and he wasn't sure what to make of it. And I, quite honestly, am not either. But it's very interesting, and I'm going to share it with you guys and let you decide. This is where he took both of those pictures that I just showed you, right here. There's two separate pictures, this one and the one before. Right here in southwest South Dakota at Crazy Horse Monument. And here it is on Google Earth. Right here. So that's where we're at, August the 8th. So I took the pictures and I zoomed in, kind of altered the contrast color. Did all kinds of different things with the color, the clarity, highlights, everything that I could possibly do to pull out whatever this possibly was in these photos. And you can see it up here in the upper left-hand corner at about the 11 o'clock position. This is a picture that I have adjusted a little bit. I'm going to show you many, many more. I've never seen anything quite like this. And if you look at the pictures just in general, they're very pleasant. There's nothing brilliantly bright in these pictures as far as light saturation goes. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of pictures of objects in the sky, and typically the sun is just overpowering the photograph and is causing all kinds of light anomalies in the photograph. That's not the case with these photos. It's just a pleasant picture of, you know, a monument. I mean, there's no bright lights in here that would dominate or interfere with the photographs. So then this one here, I zoomed in and adjusted the contrast just briefly, and then I get to where I really get to adjusting the color and stuff. But you can see it right up there, and it's definitely very interesting. Let's see here. I've got so many pictures going that it's unbelievable. Let's just go with this one. There it is again. Pay attention to whatever these things are. There's one here at 6 o'clock, because I'm going to refer to these here later in the video. There's one at 6, and there's one way over here at about the 1 o'clock position. But just kind of pay attention to the distance and location of both of those things, whatever they are. I have no idea what those are either. And you'll see what I mean here. There's the one at 6 o'clock position. Here's the one at 1. This is picture number 2. This is picture 1. This is picture 2. And I've adjusted the color in both of these pictures. You can see that this little white object, whatever that is, it was in both of his photographs. In this photograph, it's at the 4 o'clock position. And this is in the same position with respect to 1 o'clock. It's just farther away. So I don't know if these things, whatever they are, were moving, or if this possibly moved a little bit, whatever it is. I have no idea, but I've seen hundreds and hundreds of lens flares in photographs, and this is just simply not your typical lens flare by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it looks like a honeycomb. It's a hexagon. And when you look at it really close, it's got definition. It's got a circle in the middle of it. It's actually kind of neat. And from the research that I've done the last couple of days, there's been other people see these things in the sky. Actually saw them. One guy saw them twice as he was viewing the moon. I'll get to that also here in just a minute. But let me just show you the photographs that I've taken. I'll give you that guy's witness testimony that saw something similar to this in front of the moon in his telescope. He had his camera and telescope set up on the moon from Florida, and he's seen something similar to this twice. This is another perspective of this. I've adjusted the, in fact, this is full negative, exactly what I've done. I've taken it and put it into full negative. Looks like a honeycomb. What else do we have? Here's another look at it. It's very dark in this, but I've done all this. I've adjusted all the light just so you can see it at a different perspective. Different perspective. Definitely got a honeycomb thing going on here. What do we got here? This one here, it almost looks like it's got reflectivity. And here's the object at 6 and 1 o'clock. Here's another look at it here. Definitely like a honeycomb. Here's another look at it here. That's a pretty good picture there. The way I adjusted I think it was the lighting, and I removed some color. I don't know, but you could see there's a circle in the center of this thing. There you can see it again in this photograph. Here's another one, and here's these objects still at 6 and 1. And it almost looks like it's, I don't know, dipping into the clouds. The clouds are moving around it or something. It kind of looks that way, but maybe not. Now, the reason I say that is because of this photograph, the way I've got it adjusted. I've really got things tweaked on this one. And you can see the clouds almost look like they are moving around this thing. But maybe not. I don't know. Light looks different up here. Looks a little darker down here, like maybe it's tilted at an angle. Or there's something that goes vertical. You can almost imagine a vertical triangle going here, 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 meeting at a point up here at the top. Because there does look like a star at the top. These things could be vertical, and that could be why it's reflecting light on this side and not on this side. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box of simply what this thing could be. It's not your typical lens flare, that's for sure. Just another look at it here again. And yet another perspective here. And I'm up pretty close on this. But here's what's interesting. I did some research. I looked on Newforce, where people report things that they see in the sky. It's got an archive, and I went back through the archives, and I was looking for chevrons, different types of objects that people report that they see in the sky, and there's always hundreds and hundreds of reports. Not every month. Some months are more than others, but this particular one here I found interesting. I did find several people reporting seeing chevrons, but this one here I wanted to share because this gentleman here reported seeing a fast-moving, what he calls a black star, star-shaped object transiting the moon at 144 times magnification as he was viewing the moon through his telescope. And I think he had a camera on it as well. I don't think he got a picture. It just went through really fast as he was looking at the moon. But here's the thing. He drew a sketch of what he saw, and that's what he saw. Not only did he see it once, and this was on November 30th, less than 10 days ago, he's seen this phenomenon twice. And that resembles, even though it's missing one point, that resembles a chevron or a honeycomb. This same guy has seen it 2 times in less than a year. He says, as a point of interest, this is actually the second of these objects that I have seen while observing the moon. The earlier observation took place on June 23rd, 2016. And there is a report on file here at Newforce, and he reported the same phenomenon. So I found that interesting. There were other people that reported seeing like triangles and chevrons, but this was the closest I could find to something that kind of matched this description of whatever this thing here is. And again, this photo was taken by Jonathan at the Crazy Horse Monument in South Dakota, August 8th, 2017. He did not see this object. He just noticed it in the photographs after the fact. Does look like it may be moving. If it was moving, it was probably moving at a very high rate of speed. Probably wasn't meant to be seen, obviously. But it does look like if it is something that is an unidentified aerial phenomenon, looks very sophisticated, whatever it is, I don't know. but it's definitely not your typical lens flare, that's for sure. Those are typically round and very obvious. You know those when you see them, but this is definitely not your typical lens flare, that's for sure. So I found that interesting. I wanted to share that with you guys. Jonathan, thank you for sharing this with me. I've actually had fun with this thing. I've never seen anything like this in photographs before, so this was a new one for me as well. And I want to thank you guys for your support at Patreon and PayPal. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. And I will thank you all personally here in the next day or two. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, be safe out there.